The Galactic Empire spanned thousands of star systems, ruling with an iron grip and an unwavering belief in their superiority. They had seen countless civilizations rise and fall, crushed beneath their technological and military might. Earth was a relatively new blip on their radar, a backwater planet with primitive technology and no interstellar presence. Yet, intelligence reports suggested humanity had something unique: unpredictability. The Council of Dominion, composed of the Empire's most influential minds, convened to discuss this anomaly. Humans, one said with contempt, a chaotic species driven by emotion. Yet their victories against superior forces in their short history are troubling. Another added, their ingenuity under pressure makes them dangerous. We cannot afford a wild card. The consensus was clear. Before humanity could become a true threat, it must be neutralized. To this end, they deployed the Zoryn Hunters, biomechanically enhanced assassins engineered for perfection. The Zoryns were legend among the stars. Stealthy, precise, and merciless, they had dismantled entire planetary defenses without detection. Their mission was straightforward: infiltrate Earth, eliminate key military figures, and destabilize human leadership. The Zoryns struck under the cover of night, their entry unnoticed by Earth's rudimentary defense systems. A high-ranking general in Washington, a brilliant strategist in Beijing, and a technological innovator in Berlin all fell within hours. The attacks were surgical, leaving no trace of the assassins or their methods. Panic spread through global governments as leaders realized this was not the work of any earthly adversary. Humanity's initial attempts to respond were futile. Advanced radar systems detected nothing. Surveillance footage revealed only brief distortions before the targets were eliminated. Conventional weapons were useless against an enemy that couldn't be seen or anticipated. The Zoryns were playing a game Earth didn't even understand. But humanity had always thrived on adversity. As the body count rose, desperation forced the world's brightest minds into action. A coalition of scientists, engineers, and strategists formed, pooling resources to study the scant evidence left behind. They discovered that while the Zoryns were nearly perfect hunters, they had one critical flaw: arrogance. Their confidence in their superiority led them to underestimate humanity's capacity for adaptation. Amid this chaos, whispers began to circulate about a potential solution. A name emerged in classified discussions: a sniper whose precision and tactical brilliance had become the stuff of legend. This individual had operated in shadows, taking impossible shots in war zones and disappearing without a trace. He was retired now, living off-grid, but those who knew his reputation agreed. If anyone could turn the tide, it was him. The decision was unanimous. A covert team was sent to find this marksman. They carried a simple message: the world needed him. There was no margin for refusal. Humanity was on the brink, and its only hope lay in the hands of the one person who had spent a lifetime defying impossible odds. The sniper was found living in seclusion in the rugged mountains of Montana, far from civilization. He had long since left the battlefield, trading war for the solace of nature. But when the team arrived, carrying the weight of Earth's survival on their shoulders, he listened. They laid out the situation: an alien threat beyond anything humanity had faced, assassins who were eliminating Earth's best without resistance. His name, whispered in desperation, had become their final hope. For a long moment he said nothing. The team leader, a hardened colonel, pressed him. You've faced impossible odds before. You've done what no one else could. We don't need a soldier. We need a ghost, someone who can think like them and beat them. The sniper finally spoke. If I say yes, this isn't a fight. It's a hunt. And hunting something that's better than you means knowing it better than it knows itself. Back in a covert facility, the sniper was briefed on everything humanity had learned about the Zoryns. Their biology was a mix of organic tissue and synthetic enhancements, making them faster, stronger, and nearly invisible to most detection methods. Their neural systems allowed them to anticipate patterns, making them nearly impossible to outmaneuver. But humans had discovered one vulnerability. The Zoryns were over-reliant on their technology. In environments where their systems were disrupted, they became less efficient. The sniper absorbed every detail with the cold precision of someone who had spent a lifetime studying targets. He learned about the Zoryns' advanced cloaking devices, their infrared vision, and their weaknesses in blind spots. But he didn't just study their tech. He studied their behavior, their arrogance, their tendency to underestimate anything they deemed primitive. The scientists provided him with modified equipment. His rifle was retrofitted with reverse-engineered alien tech, capable of penetrating the Zoryns' adaptive armor. A new scope allowed him to detect the faint electromagnetic field generated by their cloaking devices. But the sniper insisted on simplicity. "All the gear in the world won't save me if I don't know how to outthink them." He spent days in rigorous training, testing the modified weapons and pushing himself to his physical and mental limits. The sniper set up mock hunts, forcing himself to track and target drones designed to mimic the Zoryn stealth. Every shot mattered. Every mistake was analyzed and corrected. Patience, precision, and adaptability, these were his tools, not just the rifle in his hands. As he prepared, the world held its breath. Reports of more Zoryn attacks flooded in, each one more devastating than the last. The sniper's task was clear. He wasn't just humanity's weapon. He was their message. His success would prove that humanity could face the galaxy's deadliest killers and come out on top. Failure wasn't an option, but he accepted the stakes with the quiet resolve of someone who had seen war in its rawest form. The hunt was about to begin, and he intended to remind these alien predators that Earth was not an easy kill. The sniper crouched low, hidden in the underbrush, scanning the area for any sign of the last Zoryn. This one was different, smarter, more deliberate. It hadn't charged blindly like the others but was systematically dismantling his traps, studying his movements, and learning from every failed attempt. It wasn't just hunting him. It was challenging him. He adjusted his rifle, careful to make no sound. Every step he had taken to this point had been calculated, but now the game had changed. He had to adapt, to move beyond just precision and into the realm of unpredictability. The Zoryn wanted to outthink him. He intended to let it believe it had succeeded. The faintest shimmer in the distance caught his attention. The sniper slowed his breathing, centering himself. The alien was testing him, exposing itself just enough to bait a shot. He didn't take it. Instead, he shifted slightly, lining up a secondary angle, and waited. The shimmer moved again, closer this time, but still not within his line of fire. It was drawing him in, attempting to force him into an error. He made his move, but not the one the Zoryn expected. He fired a round not at the alien but at a nearby tree, the impact sending splinters and debris scattering. The Zoryn reacted, its cloaking flickering as it shifted positions to avoid what it believed was an aimed shot. The sniper caught the distortion, recalibrated, and fired again. The alien anticipated the second shot, darting out of range just in time. It was faster than he had accounted for, and his second bullet missed its mark. The sniper cursed under his breath, realizing the Zoryn was now fully aware of his location. Plasma fire erupted, carving through the dense forest and forcing him to retreat. He moved quickly but carefully, using the terrain to his advantage. The forest was his ally, providing cover and misdirection. He reached a rocky outcrop and took a calculated risk, scrambling to higher ground where he could regain visibility. As he ascended, he set a small motion-triggered device at the base of the climb, a primitive explosive designed to disorient rather than destroy. The Zoryn pursued, its advanced senses tracking his movement with relentless precision. When it reached the outcrop, the device detonated, sending a cloud of dust and shrapnel into the air. The alien's cloaking failed momentarily, revealing its sleek, predatory form. The sniper had a split second to react. He aimed and fired, striking the Zoryn's shoulder, but the shot wasn't lethal. The alien roared, its movements now fueled by both strategy and rage. It leapt toward the sniper, closing the distance in a single bound. He rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding its claws, and drew his sidearm. The Zoryn's agility forced him into close combat, each exchange of blows pushing him to his limits. Finally, he saw his chance. The Zoryn overextended, leaving its central power core exposed for a fraction of a second. The sniper seized the moment, firing a single round into the vulnerable point. The alien froze, its systems failing before collapsing in a heap. The sniper stood over the body, exhausted but resolute. He had survived the hunt and won. The battle was over, but the forest was silent in a way that felt unnatural. The sniper leaned against a tree, his breathing heavy, his muscles aching from the brutal fight. His rifle hung loosely in his grip, the barrel still warm. Around him lay the remnants of the Zoryns, broken, defeated, and still emanating faint traces of their alien technology. For the first time in hours, he allowed himself to exhale. But there was no time for celebration. He knew this victory was temporary, a single skirmish in what could become a much larger war. He activated the communication device given to him before the mission, sending a simple message to the command center. Targets eliminated. Area secure. There was a brief pause before a response came. Acknowledged. Extraction inbound. Stand by. Even as he awaited pickup, his mind was already racing. These assassins had been the Empire's finest, sent with the explicit purpose of neutralizing Earth's strongest. If they had failed, the Empire would know it wasn't dealing with an easy conquest. They would escalate. This was only the beginning. Back at the military facility, the sniper was met with subdued applause and nods of respect. He had achieved what no one else could, but the weight of his success was heavy. The bodies of the Zoryns were studied by scientists, who marveled at the fusion of biology and technology. The data gleaned from their remains would be invaluable in preparing for the next phase. The sniper, however, had no interest in accolades or analysis. He handed over his gear and requested to be left alone. He had done his job. The rest was up to the people who had called him out of retirement. But as he walked away, one of the scientists stopped him. "What you've done here isn't just a victory. It's a statement. They'll know we're not defenseless. They'll think twice before coming again." He paused, turning slightly. "They won't think twice," he said quietly. "They'll come back harder. And when they do, you'd better be ready." The sniper disappeared shortly after that, retreating once more into the wilderness. Stories of his heroism spread, but he neither confirmed nor denied them. To him, this wasn't about glory. It was about survival, ensuring humanity had a chance to endure against a force that considered them expendable. In the void of space, the Galactic Empire received the reports of the Zoryns' failure. Shock rippled through the Dominion Council. The idea that humans, a species deemed primitive, had outmaneuvered and destroyed their elite assassins was unthinkable. Some called for immediate retaliation, a full-scale invasion to wipe Earth from existence. Others cautioned restraint, arguing that humanity's ingenuity and resilience might make them a valuable ally or a devastating enemy. Earth responded preemptively. A broadcast was sent out across the galaxy, aimed directly at the Empire. The message was clear and resolute. "We are not prey. You sent your best and they failed. If you come again, you will face not one sniper, but all of humanity. Choose wisely." The sniper's work was done, but the legend had only just begun.